Ndewo, greetings. Welcome back to Learn Igbo channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Yvonne Choman-Banefo, and you are welcome. In the video today, we're going to talk about you as a beginner. If you want to learn Igbo language, where do you start? What do you do? Because language learning can be quite daunting. If we're stepping into an area that we're not familiar with and we're unsure of, we tend to feel quite vulnerable, not knowing which way to turn, what to do. In this video, I'm going to give you a few guidelines on what to do and what to learn as a beginner in learning Igbo language. Before you start learning Igbo language, you need to ask yourself, what are the reasons for learning this language? Why are you learning it? Are you learning it because you are of Igbo descent and you didn't have the opportunity to learn earlier on and you're starting now? Or are you learning because you have a spouse or a partner that is of Igbo origin and you're not Igbo and you would like to learn, maybe to understand what your in-laws are saying in case they're talking about you? Or you could just have an interest in the culture. You could have friends that are Igbo and would like to learn Igbo language, but for whatever reason you want to learn the language, there are a few questions you need to ask yourself, like why, and what resources have you got available? Will you make out time for it, and make out time in such a way that it becomes a habit, and to realize that this is not a few months journey, but an ongoing thing? Because you could ask yourself, how long did it take you to learn English? So it's like that for any language. It's not, you don't just pick up a phrase book and then suddenly go from zero to being fluent just like that. It takes time, it takes commitment, and it also takes maybe accountability to an extent. So what do you need to learn if you're learning Igbo language as a beginner? So you start with greetings, ekele. You learn how to say hello or goodbye or how are you or my name is. Learn how to introduce yourself. Learn how to introduce others. And then, what is your name? These are the things you learn how to say. Or your profession. I am Igbo, I'm a lawyer, I'm a builder, I'm a teacher. So these are the initial things that you would need to learn. Igbo greetings. And then we move on to Igbo Alphabet. You learn how to recognize the alphabet, the letters of the alphabet, because there's a slight variation from the English alphabet. You learn the sounds, because sound is a big one in Igbo language. If you can master the sounds, then you're well on your way to becoming fluent in Igbo. And you learn the numbers, the weather, the time. Learn numbers 1 to 100, weather condition. Learn how to tell the time. And that's it, really, for, the Igbo alphabet, numbers, weather, time. It's an ongoing process. And the next thing you will need to learn is Igbo pronouns in a sentence. In Igbo, pronouns are known as nochiaha, and you will learn how to say I, you, him, her, we, and they. I is mo or m. Then you is gi or ginwa. Then him, her, and it is o. We is anyi. They is ha or hawa. So you learn the Igbo pronouns. And then very, very important is Igbo verbs, because verbs are doing words. And in everyday life, we're active, we're doing things, we're explaining what is happening. So verbs, conjugation is extremely important. You learn the verb to be, to have, to do, to say. So that's just, a tip of the iceberg of the verbs you need to learn. So you learn verbs, learn the conjugation, the present, the past, and past participle. So the more you work on your learning, the more you master all these things. Then you also need to learn the common Igbo nouns, the aha. Normal people's names of people like Nneoma, Nneka, Obinna. Names of things and names of places like London, New York, those are nouns. And maybe names of Igbo places as well. And then you also learn nkowa aha, adjectives. So adjectives are like nnukwu akpụụkwụ, big shoe, obele akpụụkwụ, small shoe, ụlọ obere, small house, oyi, cold, ogologo, tall, mkpụmkpụ, short. So these are the things you also need to learn, adjectives. And then everyday vocabulary and expressions, asking for directions, explaining things, simple phrases. And the important thing is, with other parts of speech and other things I've mentioned before, it's important for you to start learning from the get-go, the things that apply to you. If you live in a place where it rains a lot, like here in London where we live, it's been raining for the past 2 days. You learn how to say, oh, mmiri na-ezo, it's raining. Or ikuku na-eku. Or anwụ na-acha, the sun is out. So everything you're learning, you learn it based on your everyday, your own life. I mean, it doesn't make sense learning all the animals in the forest if you're not going to encounter these animals on a day-to-day basis. You can learn them later on, but as a beginner, you don't really need to learn the things that don't apply to you, because you want to hit the ground running with speaking the language. So if you don't encounter, if you're not doing mountain climbing, what's the point in learning about mountain climbing in Igbo? So it makes sense to start learning the things that you encounter every day, so that will help you master the language, start producing a language by speaking the language. And then that will give you more confidence as you go along. So the next thing is to learn how to formulate your own sentences. Learn how sentences are formulated in Igbo language. I'll put up a video later on about formulation of sentences in Igbo language. So you start with, if you don't know what to say, you start with scripts. Like some of the stories I've put up on this channel, and conversation sessions, and all these phrases. You just start repeating, because it's not enough to listen and watch. You have to produce, so that your mouth gets used to the sounds of the language. And then you listen to people. If there are not many people speaking Igbo around you, you can look for channels on YouTube here where you hear people speak Igbo, like movies or interviews or Igbo news. If you do a search for Akukowa on YouTube, you will find the one that ABS Radio TV Oka uploads every single day. And then you learn the vocabulary and sentence structure, like I mentioned before, and then you start formulating your own sentences. So it doesn't matter if you're wrong. Everybody is wrong when they start. So, and that's the way you keep moving and gaining confidence. And then music and songs, those ones are big ones. Nursery rhymes, folk songs, recorded songs, rhymes, and poems. Because with music, there's always that repetitive aspect to songs, and they tend to stick to your brain. So when you sing Igbo songs or Igbo rhymes or Igbo folk songs, before you know it, when someone says a word that is part of a song that you know, you just remember what that song, what that word means. Then immersion. Immersion is simply surrounding yourself with Igbo media, whether it's people speaking Igbo or Igbo radio. There are so many Igbo radio stations online, or Igbo TV. I just mentioned ABS Radio TV, who upload Igbo news Igbo only news every single day. And then you have Igbo podcasts that you can listen to. And then you're already on YouTube. So you look for YouTube channels, like I mentioned again before. So every single day, if you're able to listen to a single or more, one or more Igbo media, then your ears start getting used to the patterns of the language. And then from there, you start gaining confidence and then start producing the language. And then off you go. So daily practice matters a lot. And with this daily practice, you do a variety of things like writing, listening, pronunciation drills, speaking practice. Never ever underestimate the power of speaking. The more you produce language, the more confident you become. So it's not enough to just listen to the odd YouTube video or listen to people speaking Igbo and then try not to. If you don't try to mimic and then start producing your own sound, you're not going to get far as a beginner of the language. Then reading, writing, and listening. Listening is very, very important because you have to take in a lot of vocabulary before you're able to produce even the basic ones. So the more you hear, you expose yourself to Igbo media, Igbo language, music, Igbo conversations. There are quite a few Igbo learning and Igbo language channels. Other content creators who teach Igbo on YouTube. So it's not just Learn Igbo channel. You try other channels that learn Igbo, that teach Igbo, and you learn from all of us. So then you use your cell phones. The cell phone is a powerful tool for learning Igbo language. You record yourself using the voice recording option to record yourself saying words in Igbo. Even if you're too self-conscious to speak Igbo in front of people, you can practice on your phone. Record yourself saying it, play it back, and then you keep. Once it sounds like what the original audio is, then you know you're on the right track. You can take notes on your cell phone. If there's a word you don't know in Igbo, you can type it in. If you don't know the word for cell phone, you type in cell phone. On your way to work, if you see a tractor, you write tractor. Road, you write road. And then later, you can always go to your Igbo English Igbo dictionary to check. Or you go on to Google and use Google Translate, the English Igbo Google Translate, to check what the words mean in Igbo. Google Translate is not always accurate, but it's still better than nothing. So sometimes it's very accurate, sometimes it's way off. But as the years go by, Google Translate becomes more and more accurate. So don't totally discount Google Translate as a tool for learning Igbo. Then you can use language apps like Fovo. Fovo is a pronunciation dictionary, flashcard apps, and then generally immerse yourself. So, and then some people prefer taking notes. Get a special notebook for taking down notes. Again, words that you're not sure of, words you've learned, phrases you've learned that you think you'll be using on a regular basis. You just make your own notes and refer to them whenever you need to. So with these notes, like I just said, you write down new words, meanings, helpful hints, common phrases. Sometimes there's this thing called mnemonics. You use the sound of a language that you're familiar with to remember words in the new language you're learning. So that comes in really handy in mnemonics. Question for today: why do you want to learn Igbo? Put it down in the comments below. And then what resources do you have available to start learning Igbo right away? I'm looking forward to seeing what your answers are in the comments. This is the end of the video. I hope this video has been useful to you. And if you haven't yet done so, Subscribe to the Learn Igbo channel. Let me know what topics you would like me to create videos about. And then like this video, and if you haven't yet clicked on the bell button next to the subscribe, the bell icon next to the subscribe button, just click it now. Komesia. See you soon.